To connect your HubSpot data to Google Looker Studio, go to powermetrics.com and start a 14-day free trial. By the way, we already have a free forever plan as well. Select the free trial, log in with the same Google account that you use on Google Looker Studio, and once you are logged in, I will connect with single data source this time because we are only connecting HubSpot data. I will choose HubSpot, I will connect my account. Here I will reauthorize because I have done it in the past. I will create this connection, I will log in, I will select this account, and we have connected our HubSpot account. It is super simple, just a matter of clicks. Now I will go to next and I will select the account I have just connected. So here in select account, I will select this particular HubSpot account and create report. And if you see this window, this means that we have successfully created our connection. We will wait for Looker Studio to load the report, and I will click on save and share in the top right corner, click on acknowledge and save, and this will publish our report. Here I have no data for this particular data source or this particular HubSpot account, so I will change the date range and I will visualize instead of the last 7 days, I will visualize the last year and I will click on apply, and we have just created a HubSpot dashboard on Google Looker Studio. Now I will show you some use cases and examples of your new HubSpot dashboard template on Looker Studio. So the first thing is I will go to a view mode and I will show you all the pages within this dashboard template. There are many pages and I don't think that you will need them all. I wanted to create this template so you can see everything that you can do on HubSpot and how its data works. So here first I am visualizing my deals data, and for the deals data I have 4 pages: the overview, a funnel, acquisition sources, and summary. Let me show you how they look like. First, I created this metrics tree map so you can understand how every metric is related with each other. I have my lifetime deals, I have the total deals within a time frame, I have the deal amount of these deals, and the deal average or annual contract value. From these total deals, I have a number of closed deals. Some of those closed deals are lost, and some of them are won. Now, I also want to know not only the total number of deals, but the value of these deals. So I break down by close won and close lost and the revenue lost. And finally, if I want another way to express my revenue, I want to know the annual recurring revenue or ARR and the monthly recurring revenue or MRR. That's why we created this stream app so you can understand all the metrics available on HubSpot by default. In Looker Studio, we can search and filter and use drop downs and make our dashboard interactive. For instance, if you want to find a particular data from a particular deal, from a particular pipeline, you can use a search bar, a drop down, and so on. For instance, here I have deal pipeline where I can break down by pipeline or by owner or by even by stage. So your HubSpot data is very granular. Now, I will show you another way to visualize this data, not with a tree map. I can take any of these metrics and I can visualize this data over time. Once this is done, I will show you other pages. For instance, the deals funnel. When we use HubSpot, remember that HubSpot works as deals, companies, and contacts. And for deals, we have properties like the deal name, the pipeline, the stage, and the owner. Well, if I take the pipeline and the stage, I can create different funnels. So here, this funnel, I am breaking down my total deals, but I could do it as well with won deals, lost deals, and so on. I take my total deals and I break down by deal stage. This is the funnel. And also I can break down by owner so I can know my sales rep performance. If I scroll down, there is another way I can visualize this data. With this pipeline summary, I am breaking down by deal stage and also over time, day by day, week by week, and so on. And finally, owner performance. I want to see all the deals across all the stages, across all the owners of this deal, so I can monitor what sales representatives are doing a better job. Now, if I scroll down, you can see more. If you have way more sales representative, you can visualize them as well here. I think that Looker Studio is very flexible and granular, and in some cases, way better for reporting than HubSpot itself. Now, I will go to another page. I will go to deal acquisition, and there are some properties like original source, drill down, original data source, level 1 and level 2. And with this data, I can know where my deals come from, depending on UTM parameters. So here, as you can see, I can break down my total deals by acquisition source over time as well. It is very useful because I want to see what channels are performing better over time. And also the summary where I break down first the original source, the next group is data source 1 and then data source 2. If you are expressing it UTMs, it can be medium, source, campaign, and so on. But HubSpot doesn't work that way, which is interesting and annoying as well. So this is another page, and next I go with summaries. This summary report or KPI report for HubSpot resembles to your Google Sheet, where you track by every row your metrics, and by column you break down by month, by week, by date. So I wanted to take the deals metrics and I wanted to break down accordingly. So on Looker Studio, you can have a very similar visual to what you have already on a Google Sheet. Okay, I will go to the next section. I will close deals and then I will go to marketing. In marketing, we have different things that generally cannot be connected or associated with deals, companies, and contacts. This is very sad because on HubSpot directly you can connect them, but with the API or with integrations, they are not connected. I am talking about web analytics, which is website traffic, email marketing performance, forms, and that's it. So I will start with web analytics. When you start using this connector, you will find some analytics data like analytics sessions, the CTA views, the CTA actions, the submissions. Actually, web analytics is very connected with form data as well. And here we also created a map so you can understand how these metrics relate. Okay, I have a number of sessions, I have a number of bounces. Actually, bounces corresponds to email marketing. Then I have some CTA views. So I am mapping a funnel. I have sessions, CTA views, then submissions, and so on. And I can visualize this data over time and also by landing page or by URL. This is very useful because I can track by landing page submissions, but this data is anonymous. So if you ask me if I want to track website traffic data, I will prefer GA4. And if I want to know pipeline and revenue data, then I want HubSpot itself, but with different metrics. So that's why I think web analytics is not the best reporting from HubSpot. But email marketing is. I think that it is very useful because I can see many metrics for email marketing, from email sent to delivered to open to clicks, and even from submissions. And here I can break down this data by campaign, by also by automation, and so on, as you can see here. If I scroll down, let me show you, I can also visualize this data over time and by campaign. So I can take all these campaigns and break down all this data. Here, I can also visualize the state or the type of the campaign, if it is automated, if it is polished, and there are also subcategories. It is a batch campaign and so on. Here in forms, I will use these form submissions, and I can also visualize how many form submissions I have over time, as you are seeing here. And here I can see the form parameters or elements like the form name or the form created date. So I can visualize my performance for every particular form individually. Now I will go to contacts. In contacts, I have many more views. For instance, the total lifetime number of contacts in a HubSpot account, the total accounts over time. Here I am not visualizing because maybe the sample data didn't give me access to, but here over time, I can visualize as well the acquisition source, and as well as the deals, I can visualize the acquisition sources for contacts and for companies. So that's why this data is showing blank. But also, if you remember, with contacts, we have other criteria, sequels or marketing qualified leads, sales qualified leads, opportunities. We can bring them as metrics and we could map a funnel like this one. We created this funnel for you on this report template, and also the contact activity. So for every contact, I have some properties that show their activity, like the last engagement, the last email open, the last visit. This will help me understand what contacts are being very active in my CRM, and maybe sales can prioritize to reach out. Also, the contact activity for email, for the CRM, and for web. So I am separating their activity of every contact to break down, hey, these contacts are very active on my email marketing, these ones are very active on my website, and so on. And now, by contact, I can visualize actually by contact also their activity in their site, just as I told you here. Because it is sample data, you won't see much things, but now I will show you other examples with your contacts for reporting on HubSpot. For instance, the total contacts over time. In the case that you are not monitoring deals but contacts, you can also visualize them. And as well, very similar to deals, I can break down my data by lifecycle stage. It is very similar to pipeline stage, lifecycle stage, and also by owner. You can have owners for individual contacts, not only for individual deals or individual companies. And what is next is I will go to contact information. And if you have way more properties of a contact, even custom data, because also we also bring custom fields, you can break down your contacts data by industry, by geography, by job title, by the company info. I will say that this is a standard data from HubSpot, but we also can bring custom data. And something interesting about contacts, as I remember, I can know the days to close, what is the average deal value, and so on. I find it very interesting. And finally, another type of data I can visualize is company data. It is very similar, and you already have the logic. I can visualize deals, I can visualize marketing data, contacts, and now I can visualize company data. So in company data, I want to know the company number of sessions. So I can see the traffic at company level, which is very interesting. So I can see by company name how many page views, submissions, how many contacts are associated to this company name. This is another use case, but maybe it's for another video. But if you connect LinkedIn ads data, you can also retrieve what companies you are reaching on LinkedIn. And if we combine and blend this data with this HubSpot data, I can actually tell, hey, all these companies from HubSpot are coming from LinkedIn ads. Now I can measure the return investment on my advertising because this company that I could reach out on LinkedIn ads is also showing on my CRM. So I can do full tracking of this contact or this company. Now, let's go to the next stages. Just as deals and contacts, I can break down my companies by different stages, by lifecycle stage, and by owner as well. So you see, this data is very standard. Finally, this is the last views. In companies, I can see the total companies in lifetime. I can see the new companies within a date range. I can see it over time. And I can also see the acquisition sources. And you can see here where my companies are coming from organic search, from paid search, from SEO, social media, and so on. And in this case, you can see that there is actual data of attribution and acquisition for companies. Maybe this company wasn't tracking at contact level, but at company level. And finally, if you get company data on HubSpot, HubSpot sometimes enriches this data and they will show you the company website URL, the URL of the LinkedIn page, the owner, the revenue, and so on. And we are also bringing this data here in this report, also this company information about their social media presence. And I think this is a very good and very complete overview of your HubSpot data on Google Looker Studio. Now it is time to create our own HubSpot dashboards on Google Looker Studio.